Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and in today's video, sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms, we got a lot to talk about. There's new events that we've got pictures for, the epic siege commanders have had their details revealed, and more. So use the timestamps to jump to whichever part you'd like. Let's start with the new Melon event, which I'm starting to understand why this could be kind of fun. When the Melon event was first announced, I didn't know how to react to it. I thought it was kind of like, I don't know, one of those like calculator games, you know, back in the day before phones were cool, where like, you know, it was like a mafia war sort of a thing or whatever, where you're like buying stuff and you're selling stuff. But basically the way this works is you're going to get some number of melons and you can either sell them at your stall, which is going to have a randomly generated price every day, or somebody else's stall. And if you sell them at somebody else's stall, you could benefit if the price you can sell them at through their stall is higher, and they get a 5% cut, which is perfectly fine if you're making more money from your melons. Business 101. We do have some rules for this event as well. While the event is ongoing, the Melon Masters will send you 10 melons per hour. So being active is going to matter for this, I guess, because people can steal your melons. You can claim up to 120 melons from the Melon Master each day. So you have to claim them before you actually get them in your inventory. If one of your allies has at least 30 unclaimed melons, you can steal their melons. Bro, you step away from this game for 3 hours, I'm stealing your melons. The more unclaimed melons an ally has, the more you're likely to steal. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, that's hilarious. Cool. Selling melons. The price of melons will vary from each stall, upwards of 600 melon money. That's called melon money. That's the currency. That's kind of a logical name, I guess. Prices refresh every day at 0 UTC. You can visit a friend's stall to sell them there. Yeah, we talked about all that. Other governors can sell up to 1,500 melons at your stall per day. So basically, whoever's got a 600 stall, everybody's going to try to sell there until they fill up. That's really funny. You can only earn 30,000 melon coins per day from those market fees. Bro, why do you have to cap my entrepreneurship? Whatever, sharing your stall. You generate a link to share your stall. Pretty straightforward. And there's tiers of rewards here. If you have over 80 unclaimed melons, the Melon Master will stop delivering new melons to you. Don't go AFK for 8 hours. You're not allowed to sleep more than 8 hours. But technically, though, you can only accumulate, like 120 melons per day, so you can get it all done during the daytime. Blah, blah, blah. At the end of the event, your money is going to be lost, so use your melon money. Here's how you enter somebody's stall code to visit their stall. GG. Prize pool, pretty solid. 60,000 though for an epic crate. Holy smokes. So yeah, I mean, you're not going to make that much from market fees, are you? Didn't they say 30,000 a day from market fees? That's not even an epic crate. It's like one of these. All right, whatever. I'm probably misunderstanding that one. This is great. This event is cool. I like the all the way off to the side over here. You got the armament crates. Those are important. The Universal Legendary Commander sculpture is good. Dude, this is great. 24-hour shields is good. I don't know why Counter Scout exists, but you could get one of those if you wanted. And on day 3 over here, there's a lot of good stuff in here. I mean, the Transmutation Stone is great. There's 2 of them. The token buffs are great. These are good things to be getting. So, and of course, the Universal in here. This looks like a fun event. I think this is way more exciting than the fishing event, in my opinion. Even if the rewards aren't better, this just looks way more interesting to me personally. Cool. On the topic of city themes, you've seen this before, 20% cav attack for the Zenith of Power, but have you seen the new Dream of Winter? 5% infantry attack, 5% gathering speed. I think this is great. Obviously, we already have a cav gathering speed theme, which I think is technically a better one because in the off-season, you rally stuff with calves probably. But hey, 5% gathering theme, very cool. If you already have a 5% gathering theme, you don't need it, but it comes from a 7k gem event, which everybody should be doing at that 7k gem tier anyways, so everybody should go get this. From there, the new Realm of Mystique scenario battle. I am all for mini games that are fun and exciting, and this is sort of a roguelike where there's a series of bosses and chieftains, right? And you're health persists from one round to the next, and it's a team thing. So there will be normal and legendary, but to start, there's only going to be normal. And you can see here they've got 3 different floors sort of represented, and then you exit the floor to go to the next floor. Pretty straightforward stuff. There's also rewards when you take out a chieftain. So this is the sort of roguelike customization of what your group is going to be doing, your armies are going to be doing. So reduce the cooldown of high morale. I guess you would need high morale. Oh, yeah, I'll show you that in a second. I'll show you high morale. Increases the duration of taunt. Oh, interesting. Single debuff increases the max stacks of shadow armor. So it looks like all of these are actually modifying the skills. Here are the skills, right? So here's that high morale skill we were talking about. Here's the taunt skill. So these skills are basically the same as the other Soroli stuff, as far as I can tell. I haven't looked too closely at the details, but if you wanted to, you could. All the skills were revealed. All this information, by the way, came from the official Rise of Kingdoms channel and their video. Shout out to them for that. Here are the event rules. So if you wanted the details, you can see here there's 3 of the stages, including the final stage, featuring an enemy chieftain. And then there's stages in between leading up to the chieftains, right? Your progress is saved when you defeat a chieftain. If all of your troops are defeated, you return to your last save. If you quit, you fully reset your progress. Once you complete the stage's objective, there's a teleport circle. If at least half the troops stand on the circle, you get out of there to the next level. Cool. Units are provided by the system, and you don't actually take any casualties. GG. Can you imagine if you did? Rewards and reward chances. So on the Soroli Chieftain stages, you earn a reward for defeating a chieftain, and the rewards are better in Legend mode. This is very sort of familiar stuff that we've seen before. There's also a balance mode for the event. So your tech and civilization bonuses are equalized for all the participants. Commanders are provided with equipment and armaments of equal strength. So you have to actually like be good and potentially have some strategy here. You can't just potentially roll on through here with your better stuff and clean it up. And your unused Soroli coins are kept for the next instance of the event. I think it might be the same Soroli coins for the other event too, the Soroli Crisis. So that seems cool, all in all. And now we get to the new range commanders. These are epic range commanders. I am hyped that the earlier players of the game will be able to use ranged if that's what they want to do. So let's talk about what they do. Catherine, I think it's de Medici, perhaps, Italian, is what I was told here for her. Deals range direct damage to the target troop, damage factor 900, and that damage factor is 500 if they are not up close. For the next 2 seconds, the target also takes, more damage. And that number should go up. Do I have a picture of that? Yes, 15% more damage. Dude, that's a huge debuff. I know it only lasts 2 seconds, but that is a big, big debuff. Making a target take more damage is huge. From there, Commander Siege gained 15% attack and 10% march speed. Seems good. For the third skill, whenever this commander's troop launches a basic attack, a range basic, it has a 30% chance to deal instant proc damage. Ooh. So 300 ranged additional damage each second for the next 2 seconds. That's cool. 600 damage factor in total. Internal cooldown of 10 seconds. That means 30% chance to trigger. This is going to happen pretty frequently. I like that a lot, honestly. Whenever this commander's troop, and there is something blurred out here. So in the correct version, whenever this commander's troop uses an active skill, up to 3 nearby allied or friendly troops, including this commander troop, each gains one of the following buffs for the next 3 seconds. It's chosen at random. There's an internal cooldown of 5 seconds for this, by the way. And when something buffs your marches and like other marches as well, it'll always prioritize your own marches. So this should be a buff to Catherine's army and 2 nearby armies, prioritizing your armies over other people's. All right. And that buff is capped out at 15% attack, defense, or health. Very cool. The expertise makes it so that your instant proc damage is improved. Whenever this commander's troop launches a ranged basic, it has a 30% chance to deal ranged additional damage to the target every second for the next 2 seconds. It's 400 factor now, and it is increased to 500 if they have less than 50% of units remaining, encouraging you to hit people that are low health and get even better trades with your ranged. Oh my God. Bro, Siege players have it so good, and they don't even realize how good they have it. They're literally, the commander is telling you to KP chase. GG. That is very strong. And Narses, who, bless his heart, he looks like, a friendly old grandpa over here, but don't be fooled. Dude is here to slay. Let's review the skills. All right. So if the commander's troop is not up close, then you're going to deal range damage factor and reduce their march speed. So if they're far away from you, that's kind of cool. You do damage factor and slow them. When they are up close, you're going to do damage factor and reduce their attack. So if you're hitting somebody from a distance, it's going to be 600 factor. If you're hitting somebody who's up close, it's going to be 1,000 factor, which is not a ton, but in line for an epic. And that march speed reduction caps out at 10%, as does the attack reduction. Second skill. This commander's siege units lose 5% attack, but gain 25% defense. That seems like a fine trade. It's a lot of stats on a single skill. I will say sometimes an epic will have 30% of stats. So this is not a ton, but at the same time, every single skill on this hero or commander is going to be good in the open field. So seems pretty good overall, right? Whenever this commander's troop uses an active skill while in range mode, you gain 20 rage and you recover, 40 rage. Ooh, when it's max, 40 rage. And it recovers a portion of wounded units, healing factor 250. There's no internal cooldown. So when the active skill of the primary is used, you get 40 rage and 200 healing factor. When the active skill of the secondary is used, you get 40 rage and 250 healing factor. This is really good. This is a very, very good skill. Honestly, I really like skills like that. Anything that manipulates rage is a huge W in my book. Whenever this commander's troop deals range direct damage, it gains 5% attack for 10 seconds and stacks 4 times. And its duration resets, I guess they mean refreshes, whenever it gains another stack. Cool. So you can stack an upwards of 20% attack, and that should happen pretty quickly. Actually, yeah, I would think so. Whenever it deals range direct damage, I guess that's not normal damage. It's range direct damage. That might be a little bit trickier to stack. Okay, and then the expertise. Whenever this commander's troop uses an active skill while in range mode, so this is modifying that third skill that I was really excited about. Instead of 40 rage, it's 60 rage. Instead of 250 healing factor, it's 400 healing factor. Considering that this commander has the defense tree, I think this is really cool. It's basically giving you rejuvenate, right? It's like rejuvenate from the skill tree. Very, very cool. Overall, again, happy for players to get earlier exposure to siege and using range combat if they want to do it. Let's talk about the other stuff that's in here before we wrap up, all right? We've got the vacation permit. So you can now revoke vacation permits. Vacation canceled, as I jokingly said in my other videos. Here's a picture of that weekly shop that is personal to you. And you get a passport page. I think every week 1, and it stocks up to 5 in total. I think this is awesome. I would love to see other things in here, like teleports, maybe even speed ups and other stuff, because I would use the heck out of this shop. This is an overflow progression system. And also it solves the problem of kingdoms not distributing passport pages for a number of reasons. First of all, they don't like you. Second of all, because it uses the alliance currency, which they don't have to give away like that, especially to somebody who is no longer even going to help the kingdom, right? So this is awesome. I would love to see more things in this shop. There may actually be more things and just not in this picture, but I would assume we're only getting what's in this picture. I'd love to see more than what's in this picture, obviously, but this is an awesome start. From here, now you have to be City Hall 25 to talk in the LKC. It is funny. Oh, by the way, that's if you're in Season of Conquest. Season 1 through 3, you can be City Hall 16. I think it is a great call, and I kind of can't believe that trolls have been allowed to do whatever it is they do in LKC for as long as they've been able to do it. It's actually shocking to me, but great news. It's solved. I'm very happy for that. Resource return. They're showing that 10% number here, and there was something new that I learned. I maybe just wasn't paying close enough attention, but you get 10% of your resources back that you spent on healing. And if you don't get an Autarch testimony, then, or if you acquired one by fusing an Autarch testimony fragment, you receive an extra 5% of total resources. So, that's kind of nice. I'd like to see that number be much, much higher. It'd be a really cool consolation prize for the team that loses, but Overall, happy to see this. I'd love to see this tuned up so that we can queue for KVKs more frequently, right? Will be a huge win. But this is also a huge win. I'm happy with this change. They're adding a gameplay guide. I think it's really important that we get stuff like this for new players to the game. Maybe there's some things we haven't figured out as well that like will be valuable to see, but new players getting to the end game is the reason there's going to be a game for the foreseeable future. So anything that helps out a new player to get to the end game is a huge W. And from here, resource and speed up calculator. Love to see it. This is really, really cool. I don't understand why the total resources are less than the from item resources. So I don't know what's happening there, but what I'd like to see is the total represent the grand total of what I have open plus what's in my bags. Okay, and then there is, the only weirdness here is they don't include your resource packs and your pick one chests. And like, yeah, I mean, you can sort of figure out the amount of resources you have from that as well, but it would be kind of neat if they displayed like a little table down here in the future that's like, you know, if you opened your pick one chests, here are the different types of resources you could get. And if you opened all food, what would you get? All wood, all, you know, what would you get? All gold, what would you get? That'd be cool. Anyways, because like, what are we talking about? Everybody's just opening gold anyways, right? And for speed ups, they've got a calculator here as well. Very cool to see this. I kind of wish you could aggregate this into years. So I would love to see minutes, hours, days, and in the future, a year calculator would be pretty cool. The number of years of research speeds I must have has got to be insane, and building speeds too. GG. And they're adding a feature where to send your troops out of your city, you'll be able to just tap the screen, which I think is actually a cool feature. So let me explain. Today, if I want to send my troops out of my city, right, I have to like get a reticle to show up. So if I try to leave my city now, I click and I hold and I have to wait for the reticle to sort of like show up to hit march and then do the thing. As opposed to like, see, look, you see the circle's got to fill up. And like if you release too soon, it doesn't do it, which like you want to go as fast as possible in the heat of the moment, depending on what you're up to. So anyways, being able to just click and then say send the thing is going to be a great change. All in all, I'm really hyped for this update. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff coming to the game. I think generally speaking, the sort of Q&A that devs have been doing has just been so good, and the direction of the game is really, really good at this point, especially. I am finding myself, and I've been saying this video over video, like more interested and excited in some of the nuances of the game than I have been in a while, which is awesome. So if you enjoyed the vid, throw a like on here, subscribe, and if you haven't seen all the other stuff coming to the game, you got to watch these videos. This is pretty hype. I'm very much looking forward to it. And until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies. Take care, everybody.